We're ranking every Fortnite season. This is going to be a long one, so sit down and get your popcorn. Hopefully, I'm not ranting for like an hour and a half. Okay, let's just get straight into it. And I'm going to have some bad, or I think they're good opinions, but you guys will think they're bad opinions. But uh, let's just start. Okay, number 40 is Chapter 2, Season 1. You don't understand how much I hate this season. You won't understand how much I hate this season. God. Ugh. Okay, let's start off at the top. Hey, this is way too long. This is like insanely long for no reason. I don't get why. They just actually, it's like they weren't even. It's not even a COVID season. Like, Chapter 2 Season 2 had an excuse for being pretty long. It was COVID. I have no clue why this was over 4 months in length. Like, that's ridiculous. And nothing happened. There were 2 updates this season, I'm pretty sure. Other than the terrible events that happened and the garbage Star Wars live event. You had the harpoon gun and the upgrade bench. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't remember anything else happening in this season. Yeah. The first 2 weeks were good because, oh my god, new map, a new chapter. Then you realize that it's literally just the exact same thing with the loot pool, just with a different map. A map that is not as good as the one that we were in for the past, 6 seasons. So, you just gave us a downgrade. This is what I wrote. In what world would people think is a good idea to turn your loot pool that had been developed for 10 seasons, almost 3 years, and then bring it down to square one? Why would you ever think of that? Like, Chapter 3, while I think they took a misstep with just completely wiping the loot pool clean and then starting anew, but with new weapons, that's a better idea than just wiping it clean with what we were at 10 seasons ago. But anyways, yeah, this season is so garbage. This is the only season where I quit, not because I was tired with the game, because of how bad the season was. Like, I kind of quit from Chapter 4, Season 3 to Chapter 5, Season 2, but not because the seasons were god awful or anything like that. It's because I was just bored with the game, you know? Anyways, at number 39 is Primal. Honestly, the gameplay maybe a bit is worse probably, but thing is, it didn't last as long, and it had updates and had some good ideas. Also, I forgot to mention, it had a great story. Anyways, like I said, good idea, but execute poorly. Crafting is an insanely good idea for this game. I mean, they just did it wrong. Like, they should have made it so that you just take a pump shotgun, then you craft it into a primal shotgun, except make the primal shotgun better than pump shotgun. And that's just an example, dude, for all the weapons, you know? Because why would I want to have my base loot pool be these trashy bottom tier weapons when I used to have the good weapons? So if you just want to keep the good weapons and you don't want to figure out how to craft and do crafting, you can keep your good weapon. But when you do craft, you get rewarded with a better weapon. I think that's what it should have been, but hey, they didn't do that. Like I said, have very bad loot pool. The animals were cool, I will say, but they just became useless. Yeah, also another thing, this is just a map. I mean, it's boosted based on the fact that it is a Chapter 2 map, which the Chapter 2 map is a fine map. It's not terrible, except there's only like a couple seasons where I'm like, wow, that's a great map. This is not one of them. Anyways, you all know that this season's pretty garbage. I don't really need to explain it. Okay. Wilds, it's just Primal again. Except, honestly, I think the jungle is worse than the Primal stuff. Like, it's just so bad. Like, the locations, okay. They're not that bad. But the jungle was way too thick. It was way too big. Chapter 1, Season 8 did a better jungle. You're like 20 seasons, at least a dozen seasons later. You know? So I find it a bit absurd. What saves the season from being better than Primal, is that the weapons were pretty solid. It had an okay loot pool. Well, the Mammoth pistol did run everything, and so did the Cybertron cannon. It was so good. Like I said, only a couple good items, and I also quit here. This is a also, like I said, not because they're god awful season. This was a god awful season. This season was absolute garbage. Anyways, number 27 is Vibin. I especially hate this. Like I said, this is just a slightly better Chapter 2 Season 1, which, here's my opinion. If you are a boring season, or a season that goes on too long with nothing happening, and you're just quite boring, I think you're worse than a season that is, like, objectively bad. Primal is bad. That's a bad season. Like, it's a terrible season that is probably just slightly worse than Chapter 2 Season 1, right? But Chapter 2 Season 1 was not only boring, but it took up 4 months of my time. I would rather play Primal because it's for less time, you know? And this is just too long. There were like a couple good updates, mainly the one being the Kamehameha, or the just Dragon Ball update in general. That was a good update. It had a good. Actually, no, the map was meh. Chapter three's map really just took a nosedive after like season 1 and 2. And then it had great story, like all of Chapter 3. Speaking of which, Wilds has a terrible story. Chapter 4 just has a terrible story, but whatever. And yeah, there's just nothing like going for the season where I'm like, oh yeah, that was good, that was good. I just have a bunch of negatives. I mean, the Ballers coming back was cool, but like, ugh, I don't know. Anyways, Galactic Battle, it's overhated. And I would actually probably put a star or two higher, but it is a mini season, so therefore I do have to give it a bit lower. I did like the weapons. I think they were good, like I said, to an extent. Some of them are good, like the ACP Scatter Blaster. I think that one was great. This one was great. The DMR thing, I think that was it. That was great. Uh, I like the AR too, like the DC-15, I think, and the Jawa Scatter Blaster. That was great. I really like those weapons. But then the other ones were just complete misses. It's either you're actually pretty great or you're a complete miss. Also, the POIs were just really weak. Not just to be that they're just okay POIs, like they're not my favorite. Sure, they're beautifully designed and they're well made, but like they're all at the corners of the map and they just don't do anything for me. Also, the event is literally just Operation Skyfire again. Like, that is just boring. Whew. Anyways, number 35 is Chapter 3, Season 4. This is an overhated season. Just slightly, though. It's still pretty bad. But I really like Chrome. That's what I will say. I think it was a cool feature. That that was a good feature for what it was and how you could turn to this blob and phase through walls and it could buff your chest. But then it just but it also made the map really ugly and yeah. Did I say this? It had a really bad map. Like the map just like by this point, chapter three's map was just terrible. You know, it just was not good at all. Was not remotely good. Anyways, but Chrome was really cool. Also, Fracture, while not being the worst live event in history, it is bottom 3. It's god awful. That may have been the most insufferable thing I've ever been through. It's 40 minutes of nothing. That hurt my soul. Anyways, number 35 is Rex. This is the most divisive season ever. It's either you love it and it's one of your favorite seasons, or you hate it. I'm not a part of the hate group. I think it's I think it's objectively pretty bad. Like the cars were bad, but I literally never saw them. Never saw them. To be fair, I didn't really play the first week of the season. That was part of my break. But again, it just was not good. Those cars. But I literally never even got to use the cars. They had good mythics other than Nitro Fists, some good POIs, but the map was okay. I think chapter 5, season 4 hugely improves on that map and makes it one of the best, but yeah. Then it just has a lot of problems with it, you know. Sorry I'm going through these too quickly. Oh yes, this one's gonna be controversial. I hate this season. I have a personal vendetta against it, but there are some pros where I'm like it. Okay, the weapons were way too overpowered. I'll be like this sniper too overpowered, but and also the Thunderburst SMG, Oscar's Frenzy Auto, Nisha's Striker AR, and something else. There's something else that was really OP. But honestly, I'm not the biggest problem with OP weapons. I just want to mention it because also people are really hypocritical about OP weapons and OP loopholes. Like people often hate on like Chapter One, Season 5 for the spray and pray meh and how some of the SMGs were too broken. But then like look at this season and like it's just so much worse. But anyways, that's for later. Like I don't really care about overpowered weapons. What I do care about is this just doesn't feel like Fortnite. Like honestly, it feels like Epic Games just wanted to make a whole different game, but they couldn't because they were too stuck on Fortnite. So they just decided to make Fortnite a completely different game. Like especially with the new movements, like generally, not just the animation, the movement was terrible this season, especially in those first few weeks. And also the map, I just found the visuals really ugly for Fortnite. They're great visuals, but not for Fortnite. Medallions also were god awful. Battle Pass, I like Jonesy. That's about it. And yeah, even otherwise, the map was just not that good. Everything was just like samey, same. It was pretty samey, you know. I have a lot of problems with that. It was Chapter One, Season One. Honestly, this can all sum up to it's just too basic. Well, sure, for a first season, they had some great locations like Pleasant Park, Retail Row, Greasy Grove. You know, all these locations, they were great. They were all great locations. But, you know, the problem was, it didn't have anything to it. The loophole actually wasn't too bad. It was pretty balanced with its weapons. It just, there wasn't anything to it, which is definitely the biggest problem for this season. It just doesn't have anything. Anyways, next up is Chapter 2, Season 5. Um, Basically as bland and forgettable and basic as Chapter 1, Season 1. Like, it's so forgettable because all the really cool features just didn't work. 40k Lab season, this just fell flat. All they had was new skins and like one or two new locations and one mythic, or one good mythic, one terrible mythic. But what this leads to is how disappointing was this? Like, you know how much like if I bet if Fortnite did this season now, for as much as I hate collabs in Fortnite, if Fortnite did this season now, I think it could have been a top tier season because they would actually put time and effort into making these collabs feel special. That you would get your own vibe, your own style, your own weapons for these collabs. Instead, you just got like skins, and it was kind of disappointing. I was like this guy, man cake, the goat. Also, Santon Lane just wasn't a thing. Like, it was there, but for a bit, and it was really fun. And then they removed it because the invisibility glitch. So yeah, whatever. It also had a pretty bad map. Like it just was not that good, and the loophole was pretty mid. Anyways, next up is Chapter 1, Season 2. I think it's a good, pretty large improvement over Season 1. Like, it's a solid season now. And they had some good new weapons. Very few. And also, this is crazy. Like, even for now standards, like, Fortnite this season only added like 3 new POIs, which I'm not complaining. That's great. I don't care that you only add 3 new POIs. But, like, when was the last season, other than a chapter change, that added 3 whole new POIs? And by chapter change, I also mean 5 new POIs. Like, I can't remember that. I'm pretty sure it could have been more because it was like the Towers, Shifty Shafts, Haunted Hills, Snobby Shores. Was that there? 2. The Junkyard, and then shoot, the other one, the Factory Place. Like, that's like 6 POIs, except I think Snobby Shores wasn't one of them. I kind of forgot. But like that's a lot of POIs, and Toasted Towers and Shifty Shafts are amazing POIs. I love both of them. Also, the Battle Pass, first ever one, it was revolutionary. Um, This is why every game has a battle pass, because it works super well here. And then games just abused it to the point where I don't care. And now I don't even get my V-Bucks back from buying the battle pass, so I don't care either. Anyways, I think it's a good substantial improvement over season 1, but still not good enough. Still too basic. But I think it's getting to a solid season. Okay, Chapter 1, Season 3. I think it's a good season. But it's just a slightly better season 2. I mean, like, sure, we had Lucky Landing. We had, like, these 4 weapons. But that's it. Oh, also the hunting rifle. That was a really good weapon. I really like the hunting rifle. But anyways, that's it. I mean, I guess some story stuff happened, and here was like the call. Here was like the right before Fortnite got insanely popular. But like overall, it's just a slightly better than season 2, so I can't really put it that much higher. Anyways, next should be season X. Okay, don't kill me over this, but people really overstate how bad mechs were. First of all, they just got deleted like halfway through the season for lore reasons. They just boop, and then whenever they came down, boom. Their spawn rate was decreased. I'm pretty sure. Oftentimes they were on the edge of the maps, and people just wouldn't get them. They were in the storm. For me, like generally, I can count on one hand. I played, by the way, every day. I'm almost positive every day of Season X I played. I can count on one singular hand how many times I interacted with mechs outside of like the first 3 days. Because they weren't that bad. They also set up like 4 different counters to it. And seriously, one AR mag can take out a mech. Like, generally, they were not that bad. There's a reason why people, like, especially when they came back in like Chapter 2, Season 8. Like, there's a reason why people didn't hate them there. Because people realized, oh, they're not that bad. Honestly, I think mechs, just people really overstate it. While they are bad, and I do get it if you had a lot of problems with mechs, but I never had that. And this is all subjective, of course. I just literally never had a single problem with mechs. I'm terrible at this game, by the way. Like, to preface, I'm not good now. So imagine how bad I was in Season X. I could still take down a mech. Whenever I did see a mech, I don't think I ever died to a mech outside the first week. First week, I don't think I've ever died to a mech. Because you just take them out. You have junk rifts, you have boogie bombs, you had literally just a good amount of things that you just kill it with. It's not that hard. Ugh. And they also just would despawn. They got nerfed. Their spawn rate limited, and oftentimes people just didn't go and get them. So, truly, I do not get the hatred for this season, and almost everyone brings up mechs. Also, I don't care about turbo building. I think building is a flawed mechanic of this game. While I don't like I'm not the biggest fan of zero builds because I do like building. I think some factions of building in this game, when you can just like get in a box, I'm not lying. You can just get in a box, hold down the trigger on your controller to have constant builds open, and you're done. Like, you're good. Um, no, like I'm almost positive that like no weapon can break through a wall. I've tried, and you know how hard it is to take a wall. You break it. That like I think building needs a slight nerf. I think it needs something to stop it. But honestly, I do understand how you don't like the turbo building change, which was, oh wait, I'm pretty sure undone in like a couple days. But whatever. Also, rift zones are amazing. Like Starry Suburbs, Pandora, Tilted Town, Gotham City. These are all top, like elite, high A tier POIs. They were amazing. And then the battle pass is, I will say, this is, I know it's too blurry, but it's one of the best battle passes ever, in my opinion. I mean, like, was it Ultra Knight? He's one of my favorite battle pass skins. The Eternal Voyager, the new version of Drift, the female Drift, all just amazing skins. It had one of the best live events. I think the end live event is just so peak, and it had a great loot pool. Like, we had a culmination, like I said, of 10 seasons worth of amazing loot pool changes and items, and it all comes here, and it all is so great. Now, I will say, this is only a good season. I think this is a good season. I think it's a pretty darn good season. and I'm only rating it as a good season because of the obvious flaws with Max and Turbo building. But like, generally, without them, this would be considered a top 10, top 7 season of all time, and I will stand on that. Ugh, I just ranted about that for a while. Anyways, next up is Chapter 2, Season 8. Another mech season, like I said. Um, it was pretty disappointing. It's a good season. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty good. I love the live event. Like this is one of if not the best live event ever. But it was quite disappointing. You had the entire mothership just rain down the island, and cubes would be everywhere. Nope, there are like 5 cubes around the map, and the mothership just entirely landed off the island. Like that was just so disappointing. That just made me really mad. Anyways, but there were some good map changes still. Like I really liked the big pyramid cube thingy in the middle. I thought it was great. Overall, I don't have much to say about it, but it's a good season. Remix. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna fall. I have a bias towards remix. Okay, I'm gonna come in close for this. So you see, I'll set the scene. Chapter 2. After I'm coming back. I'm going back. Chapter 2, Season 2 is an amazing season. You'll see how highly it's placed later. But this season grinds my gears. Why is it a rap theme? I'm sorry. That theme just makes me mad. It makes me so mad. I don't get why. I just hate that theme. And also, you had a genuine perfect blueprint with the OG season. Like that OG season, I think had the perfect blueprint on how to go through your seasons. What they should have done is start at chapter 2, season 2, because chapter 2, season 1 literally had nothing. Then go through 3, do 4, maybe try to brush past 5 and 6 real quick, and 7 and 8. That is literally all you had to do. But now you just had to keep it on one season, and I don't care if the season's the same. It's just cheap, and I don't like it. And like the mythics, sure, they're all great, but I just don't like this season. Like it's objectively probably like a really great season. But you know what I just don't like? It just makes me really mad. I don't want to rant about this season. It boils my blood. Honestly, I only put it up this high because like this is one of my least favorite seasons of all time, and it's just totally personal. Like I know this is a great season, but I'm just like I'm done with this season. I hate this. But like objectively, it's good, so I put it pretty high. Anyways, next is chapter 16:4. I'm not lying. I loved the first week of the season. Like, I know. Yes. It was way too overpowered. Those medallions were way too broken. The Wrecker Revolver is one of the most broken things ever. Like, I think it's just a maybe slightly better than the OG combat shotgun when it came out on release. Like, it was insanely cracked. But I'm gonna admit, oh my god, it was so fun. Killing people 100 meters away with the Wrecker Revolver jumping and dashing around the entire map and just acting like I'm the best player in the game when I'm not good at all. Oh, it was amazing. I love that. But, like, objectively, that's not that good. Like, objectively, that was very flawed. Fortnite Mirrors was one of my favorite Fortnite Mirrors, period. Like, it was amazing. And the exotics, woo! I mean, this exotic was a little bit bugged, but still was good. Double Trouble, it's really cool. And then these three are like some of my favorite exotics ever. I love the exotic Wrecker Revolver. I mean, like I said, I love broken weapons. This is one of the best weapons of all time. And it's like right up there with the Cerberus Gatekeeper. I think it's above the Havoc Pump Shotgun. I think it's one of the greatest weapons of all time, and I love it. And this one is just so good with the stacking damage, and it works so well. And I love it. But yeah, this season was Identity Crisis. They had like I swear to God, they had like 4 themes. Like they went in and like gave us Shock and Awesome, right? Then they did Unvault. Then they did K-pop Demon Hunters. Then they went Fortnite Nightmares. Like, which I will say, other than the first week, the Shock and Awesome part was pretty mid. But then I will say the unvault severely helped this season. They unvaulted a lot and a bunch of random things like the hollow accelerant rifle or something. Accelerant hollow twister. That was pretty random. But I still like the unvaults. Um and then K-pop Demon Hunters came out. I'm like, what are we doing? The game mode was just Horde Rush, but it was okay. It was okay. Then Fortnite came in, or Fortnitemares came in, and it was great. Overall, it's a very mixed season, but I like it. I think it's good. Okay. Chapter 5, Season 2. What in fumble? This could have been the best season of all time. Greek gods? You have no clue how good this could have been. And then you gave us. Oh wait, how many special god items did we get? Oh, we got 3. We got 3. 2 of them weren't good. Thunderbolt of Zeus was just not a good weapon outside of the first week. And then also, by the way, when I said I didn't really play, that I quit from chapter 4, season 3, chapter 5, season 2, I didn't completely quit. I just didn't play that much. But anyways, whew, what do I hate about that? They just didn't give you anything good with these mythics. Why would you give us a Greek god theme? Just to fumble it so badly. You know? It's just so disappointing, you know? It's just, man, come on. You couldn't have had, Hermes speed boots. Anything with Ares, Aphrodite. Poseidon, you didn't do anything. Poseidon is one of the big 3 Greek gods. Come on, ask anyone what 3 Greek gods you know. They say Zeus, Poseidon, either Hercules or Hades. Oh yeah, no Hercules. Come on, you go from so much. Also, I don't care if his name is Hercules or in actual Greek mythology. Okay, whatever. Anyways, there could have just been so much to do with a Greek god themed season, and then they fumbled it. By fumbled, I mean it went from a perfect season to just a good one. And while I did like the Avatar collab, I liked the weapons, mainly the water and air bending. Why do you have to hijack the entire season? They just removed all the special Greek mythic items specifically for Avatar. I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Why do we need to do that? The answer is we don't. We do not need to do that. But for some reason they're very For some reason they are very keen on doing that. It did have some amazing POIs. Mount Olympus and the underworld. Mwah, chef's kiss. They were spectacular. And those biomes were really amazing. Gatekeeper. Like I said, I like myself some overpowered weapons, which, here's my thing. I don't get the diss on the Gatekeeper. People are like, oh, it's too newbie, it's too bad. I'm like, I'm gonna be so honest, people will say this is a new weapon, but then let me guess, the Havoc pump shotgun's the one for pros. Generally, it's so easy to hit a 200 pump. I would say to kill someone with a Havoc is just as easy as kill someone with a Gatekeeper. But anyways, chapter 1, season 6. I'm just gonna go through it quickly. Fortnitemares was good. Zombies were a little mid, and they had problems. The gold pump was added, which was pretty good, I guess. And my biggest problem with it is just look at this map and tell me the difference from the season 5 map. Sure, they changed up Loot Lake a little bit, and then they added these dots of blah, and that's it. Yeah, it's just a worse chapter 1, season 5. Oh, chapter 4, season 4. Chapter 5, season 4, my bad. This, a really great mask. I meant to say map. That meant to be map. A really great map, because generally this is an amazing map. This whole section, the Doomstat, Castle Doom, I think that is, and I think that's Doom's Domain or Doomstat, I think. This is such a blurry map. The raft is such a good POI. All this is just great POIs. I personally think it was a really great map. It's worse than the first Marvel season by a ginormous amount. It had some really great aspects and weapons. Although, for the first Marvel season, I get it. They're exploring the basic Avengers and that stuff for the Marvel Universe, but come on. You got a second shot. Couldn't you go a bit deeper with its characters and powers? I get it. You still want to be somewhat mainstream, but come on. You brought half of the things you brought back. You already had. Um, the jetpacks were very annoying. Armor of Doom was way too rare, but this game mode was pretty solid. Actually, that's not the game mode. The game mode was pretty solid. It was chapter 21, chapter 3, scene 2. Yeah, I had zero build, which was great. Zero build arguably saved Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that the reason why Fortnite is still as big as it is because of zero build. I think without zero build, Fortnite would be in a severely worse place than it is. Anyways, it had a great story. Has solid loophole. They used the war concept well, but the rivalry concept this season is much better. Had an amazing live event. This live event was goated, and the comics based around it, pretty good comics. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, next one is OG. I will say this. This is arguably, as I said right there, arguably the best season ever. It is so consistent. It is so fun, and it is generally spectacular in everything it does. Like when I say it's, I got my mic. Anyways, when I say it has perfect pacing, I mean it has perfect pacing. I could play every day and not get sick of it. I could play every day for 4 out of 5 hours the entire day and not get sick of it because of how fun it was to be back in chapter 4. Back in chapter 1. I think there were bots in this season, which is a little bit of a problem. But if there weren't, then that's kudos to them. Generally, this season was truly spectacular. Why is it 20th place net? Because you're going to tell me there's 20 spectacular seasons of Fortnite. No, there are absolutely not 20 spectacular seasons of Fortnite. It's literally just chapter 1. At least Remix tried to change things, even though I didn't like that change. But this is just chapter 1. It's way too unoriginal, so I just put it way down. It had an elite battle pass, I will say. So it's a fantastic season, but I had to put it way down because it's just chapter 1, and I'm not going to give a season that is so unoriginal in the top 5. You know what I mean? Anyways, chapter 6, season 1, a great start. It had amazing vibe with the Japanese Hunters theme. Typhoon Blade, while it could be annoying, it wasn't that bad. It was a great season 1 map. This is a great map, but it did not hold the precedent for later seasons because it felt like every later season just kept on desecrating this map. Wait. Oh, man. Anyways, it just felt like every later season just started to desecrate this map, and that was problematic because this had 18 POIs. That's insane for a first map. And while I will say this is a great starter map, this is a great map, it just didn't lead to better maps. Those are Godzillas in this season. That's pretty cool. Oh man. Okay. Chapter 4, Season 4, at number 18. Really good use of a heist theme. I will say it worked quite well. Although it is just another heist theme. It had a really great map, other than the jungle, because terrible story. I'm gonna be real with you. This had such terrible story, and I did not like it. I don't like Chapter 4 story at all because it's just so much wasted potential. It does not work. I hate it. The returning mythics were cool. Honestly, this is a really great season. Quite honestly, it went from underrated, but now it's just perfectly fine rated because people have now gone and being like, it's underrated, it's underrated, it's underrated. So yeah. Oh, that's better. Anyways, Under 17's Chapter 1, Season 9. Honestly, I may have wanted to place this higher now thinking about it. Honestly, from here to, honestly, from here to 11th, you could argue from here to, 11th place, it's quite divisive. This season, so good. Such a good season. Honestly, this 14 Days of Summer, is one of the funnest periods Fortnite has ever had. Those 14 days were peak Fortnite. I'll just say, if this season was as good as those 14 days, this may be the best season of all time. The 14 Days of Summer event was the best seasonal event ever. It's the best event that the game has ever brought. It had some truly spectacular LTMs. It was absolutely spectacular. I loved it in every single way. It was perfect. It was genuinely perfect, and it boosts this season so much. Also, this is World Cup season. I don't really care about World Cup in Fortnite. It was okay, but you cannot. But you gotta admit, the vibe, the vibe was definitely there. God, this season had just a heavenly vibe. This map is also just such a good map. I mean, Chapter 1, Season like 5 through 10 all have elite maps. They're all elite. But yeah, the Battle Pass wasn't the best. But yeah, this 14 Days of Summer thing brought this season up from what it probably would have gone like 2 or 3 down. But that 14 Days of Summer thing is just so spectacular that I had to bring it up. Also, an amazing live event. That Monster vs. Robot live event was peak. God, oh, that's so good. Honestly, this event, I honestly want to place this season higher because of how amazing this 14 Days of Summer event was. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, honestly, I can swap. I could swap basically the entire tens. You know. Anyways, the Simpsons season, it had an incredibly balanced loophole. Even when they started to bring in the more absurd mythics and the only thing that could like break this incredibly balanced loophole is the fact that the Mr. Krusty's blaster or Mr. Blasty's rifle or pistol revolver, my bad. Um, you needed to carry it. But I mean, like the ARs, like you could take the striker or you could take the infantry. You could take the ranger shotgun. You could take the thunder, or you can take the tac. You could take the P90, or you could take the machine SMG, or you could take when the twin mag came in. You'd obviously take the twin mag, but like you could take so many items, like these two assault rifles. Like it was honestly just a really great and really balanced season. Uh, Also, I think this is how every collab season should go. Not Star Wars just having some useless POIs. Make the entire map like this. If you're gonna make a mini season, specifically a mini season, like if you're gonna do like those two Marvel seasons, don't do it. There's no point. But if you're having a mini season, just change the map. Make it a small map because I love the idea of having a small map, but less players made it much more action filled. And I just felt like this was one of the sweatier seasons, which I don't like. I'm not a sweat, so I don't. But like, I thought it was really fun. Also had a great live event, overrated live event. It's not like the best live event ever. Some of it is kind of slop. Like I feel like some of it was just kind of slop, and the story. I thought there would be more story aspects to it, but it's still great. Anyways, next up is, I believe, yeah, this one is a general tie. When I have this, it's a tie. Chapter 14-1. Go. It's such a good vibe for this season. Like, I can't explain. It just felt so nice to play. It just felt so good. And also, while I do think it strays a little bit too far away from the cartoony-ish graphics Fortnite should have, these are the best graphics in the game. I'm not gonna deny. It looks amazing. I mean, it looks so good. Also, there's just so many fun items. Like this kinetic ore is so cool, and the shockwave hammer, while it is too much of a crutch item, it's still super good. Also, the season has great lore. If, and this is a huge if, you take it by itself. Because my biggest problem with the lore in the season, honestly, the entire chapter, is that sure, the lore individually per season, it's great. It's great, and you can take it really well, and you can use it, and it can be great lore. But it doesn't work by the fact that like there's so many good ideas in the season with like the shapeless man, the rift ward, and things like this. A serenade, I believe. The herald is still there and may have even broken out. Amy goes save the seven. All these great ideas, they will never be elaborated on again. I don't think we'll ever see Serenade again. I honestly doubt we'll ever talk about the Shapeless Man or Geno again. And our original Amy going to save our 7, I don't think that will ever happen because these new 7 members are coming are just different variants of the 7 except for the Foundation. But he never got Chrome, so why do we care? I just have a bunch of problem with that story. But honestly, also had a great map. Really great map. Um, dang it. Anyways, like I really like the map and how. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I do really like the map. I meant to be talking about the loot pool. Other than this being a crutch item, it had a great loot pool. The loot pool didn't develop all that well since they just kind of kept on swapping it every season, which is a god awful idea. That's one thing I don't like about this season. It took away the loot pool again. This is why I think Fortnite should do chapter per chapter. And honestly, I think this is what they should have been doing the entire time. Have your base weapons, your main weapons, be throughout the entire chapter. And then those weapons, like Chapter three's base weapons, leak into Chapter 4, but Chapter 4 adds new weapons as well. And as we get used to Chapter 4 weapons more, and sure, you add weapons in the next few seasons, right? But as we get used to Chapter 4 weapons more, then we take away those Chapter 3 weapons. And then Chapter 4 weapons leak in Chapter 5, and it's Chapter 5 weapons, and Chapter 5 has its own weapons, and as Chapter 5 weapons we get more used to, we take away the Chapter 4 weapons. Are you getting what I'm saying? Hopefully you do. My point is that I think we should just stop trying to completely wipe the loot pool every chapter, and sometimes every season. Anyways, but it's tied with Chapter 7 Season 1. Man, was this an amazing season. Not amazing. I lied to you. It's not amazing. It's a great season. But it's so balanced, especially towards the end. It was just an insanely balanced loophole. Sure, the lock on AR could be annoying, but it really wasn't that bad. Also, it may be saying, right. Ooh. Oh. You may be saying, this is a long season. 110 days is a long, long, long time. But here's the problem. But here's the thing. It had updates. It had a lot of updates, and they were entertaining updates, and they worked. You got developments. You got things going for it, which is what other long seasons just can't say. You can't say that about Chapter 2 Season 1. You can't say that about Vibin, that they got good, valuable updates. This season did. I'll say don't want to talk about it too much. It was a spectacular lore season. I'll just say that. It had a great map. And Surfing was a pro and a con. So mainly a con because it felt really hard to get to this center of the map, but a pro because every player was in about like one coast of the map, and you also these coastal maps like the ones towards the edge of the map, these coastal POIs got more credit. Anyways, I think it's about equal to Chapter 4 Season 1. They're both great start to a chapter. Is it number 13 is Chapter 4 Season 2? So overrated. I mean, this is not top 3 of all time, which some people like to tell you it is. But still great. Also, this is one thing that I also like is how people don't like is how people just selectively pick which loopholes are balanced and which loopholes are not, depending on how much they like the season. This is not a balanced loophole. These 2 weapons, if you had them, you won. If you had the overclock pulse rifle, you won. And they also had the heist exotic. Those weapons, if you had them, you won. There's no question. You just won. But no, wait, it's my favorite team of all time, so it has to be good. And look at Chapter 5. I hate that argument. Honestly, I just it has. Again, I don't care. I'm just saying I hate the argument that people who love this season, most people who are pointing back at some Chapter 1 seasons, Chapter 5, Chapter 2, and say these weapons are too overpowerful. They run the game. But then they love this season and then just ignore those 2 weapons. And more weapons too. Mega City is one of the best locations in the game. Again, terrible story. And it was just really fun. This had a bunch of really fun items and weapons. It's an improvement from Chapter 1 or Chapter 4 Season 1, but I don't know how much. By just a smidge. Anyways, number 12 is Chapter 2 Season 7. This is one of the funnest seasons of all time. It's just so much fun to play. The vibes, like the UFO game mode, things like that. It's just so fun. And this is one of the best uses of a theme ever. like how we get things, like I said, the UFO game modes, the entire loot pool. Like you would never see this loot pool in anything else. Like the pulse rifles, the railgun, the this thingy, these two the proper fire and the gravity gun, the plasma rifle, the ray gun. All these weapons are so specific to the season. It works so well. This season is just fully embraces its theme. I love that. Had an amazing live event, really great live event, and some really great items. Like I said, it just fit in. It was so much fun, and I loved it. It's one of the best seasons. It's one of like chapter 2 has like 4 seasons that are mid to god awful. It has 4 seasons that are really great to basically perfect. Anyways, next is chapter 7, season 2. Honestly, I think it's only getting better, especially now that we're in Act 2. Rivalries are really cool. These weapons, they're all pretty good. And, even though the Battle Pass is not best. And I would say behind the scenes factors, it's not the best for Fortnite with all the layoffs and the V-Bucks changes and just the overall scumminess that Epic Games is. Epic Games has always been scummy, but here it's just a special kind. Rivalries, I will say, is a good system. Good, but very flawed. There are so many problems with it, and it's just, especially like the rewards that you get from it, like, oh, you need to win. Like generally, the people at the top of the leaderboards, I forget what it is. It's like that they had to play for like every hour or something like that. Like every waking hour, they had to get like 40 rivalry wins. And that, like, how are you supposed to compete with that? And they only get like a PS5. Like, I get that's $500, but generally you are wasting so much time with that. So rivalry system, yeah, also is a bit recycled. Not just because they didn't add enough new items. It just feels like they just added a bunch of other seasons and put it into one. And we're like, hey, I hope this worked out well, and it did. It did work out well. I think as Act 2 goes along, it's going to work really well. It's also pretty balanced of the season, just not as balanced as season 1. Also, the map's okay. Anyways, getting into our top 10, at number 10 is Lawless, or Chapter 6, Season 2. It started really weirdly. Like, it was definitely a downgrade from Season 1 when it started, but then the exotics and mythics came in, and boom, this season just went up so much higher. It just got better and better and better. I will say the POIs, like, they're good by themselves, other than Crime City being way too small and disappointing. Like, Crime City, I really expected it to be, like, the new mega city. Like, it would be huge, and then it's just really small. Like, I think it's actually, like, one of the smallest. I think it could be the smallest out of the 3 locations. It's just way too compact. But, like, overall, and it also just feels weird on the map. But the exotics were peak. Honestly, they just completely saved the season. That mid-season update, it just turned the season from being an okay, solid season, skyrocketed up to being just a really great season. Also, people overstate how bad the kneecapper was. It wasn't that bad. It was at number 9, which is another shared one. Chapter 2, Season 3. This season is so much fun. One of the funniest seasons ever. I genuinely adored the vibe with this season. How much fun it was is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it to bits. Cars were added, and that was great. The new weapons and mythics and items were just so fantastic. Like, the Shark Shotgun's one of my favorite items in the game, and I love it. I know people hated it when it came out. I always loved it, and now I'm right because it's a fan favorite. So I'm the GOAT. Anyways, one of my favorite things that people really underrate, and actually I see some people hate on, is the map being flooded. Not only does it just change so much and give you a bunch of great POIs and new map changes, but it also keeps on giving you more and more and more as the map develops and unfloods. It creates such a good vibe. Generally, this is one of my personal favorite seasons of all time, but I do see flaws in it. And generally, actually, I'm sorry. This should have gone above Chapter 1, Season 4. I know that's crazy to say, because this is another fan favorite, because it's amazing. It's an amazing season. I would say it's biased. You could probably argue it being lower. Actually, you could just put it lower. But it's just so good. I mean, the map, This is when the map started to become amazing. Like, people are always like, oh, when they say OG and give the, like, stupid defense that supposedly OG players give. Like, people are like, oh, it gets better by season 3. Oh, it gets better by season 4. Oh, it gets better by season 5. Oh, it gets better by season 6. Oh, season 7 when it get better. No. Like, here's where it starts getting good. It's just OG is a terrible game mode. Game mode with all, like, generally, like, what was it? There were, like, 250 mistakes, and they had bots, and they had modern Fortnite problems as well on top of that. And also, is one thing, every Chapter 1 season is innately higher than what it would be now because it has no bots. I should just mention that because bots is the worst thing ever added to this game, and that's why Chapter 1's so pure. Anyways, my bad. Anyways, a little biased, but new items were good, like the drum gun, the dualies. We ignored that one. Playground mode was also revolutionary for the game. It's what truly created the skill gap between players and let people invent and have so much fun. This is also the peak of Fortnite community-wise. Like, this, through, like, I'd say season 7, season 8, is just the peak Fortnite ever got with its community and ever will get with its community. Anyways, at number 7 is chapter 6, season 3. Oh, so fun. It's just so much fun. And all the... Don't fall off now. And all the weapons were just so good. And the superpowers, I will say, they could have done much more with the superpowers of the season. But honestly, it's still a great season. I don't have all that many problems with it. Like, this great weapon, this great item, I love these weapons. They're so cool. They're so much fun. And I'm generally saying this, the hero rank is amazing. It is a perfect system. I actually not perfect, but I love it to bits, and it should be in all Fortnite seasons. I'm so sad that they removed it halfway through Shock and Awesome and then just got rid of it afterwards. It was such a good system. I'm so mad that's not here. I loved it. It was perfect, and I want it back. Oh, and this had such great use of weapons. I would say the pom-poms. Pom-poms were quite annoying, but does not stop this season from being peak. I think this is one of the best seasons we've had in years. Like, generally, there's not been a season this good in years and years and years, and it's amazing that we're getting seasons this good again. Anyways, next is Chapter 1, Season 7. A bit overrated. This is a perfect map, except for Season 8, because Season 8 has a better map, but it's so good. Other than this part of the map, which Season 8 just improved, except for Lazy Links. Lazy Links is peak. It's just perfect. The snow biome is great. Polar Peak, the Greasy Grove, all that. All amazing, POIs. Infinity Blade was really fun and broken, but it was only there for like 3 days. And it's just so much fun, man. Like, no bots. Good storm circles. Perfect map. Amazing loot pool. Honestly, all of Chapter 7 has pretty amazing loot pool. It's just so much fun. I just love it so much. Anyways, Chapter 2, Season 2. This may be a hot take, but it's mine. The Mythics were amazing. This may be where Mythics peaked, or somewhere where Mythics peaked. And while I've said this before, that bosses should feel more like bosses than just half an AR mag to kill and just a new flashy weapon, they should feel actually important. Which this season kind of contributed to by the fact that it's just another rarity for weapons when it should just be more than that. But whatever. The drum gun, Sky Assault Rifle, and Bruce Mingum are some of the best weapons this game has ever seen. And I will say this season would be lower if it weren't for COVID. Although COVID also contributes to one of its problems, that's way too long. And because it had to be extended because of COVID, the last month or month and a half had no updates, and it was a big content drought. But COVID also boosted up because most people playing this, including myself, were doing online classes, and they would just play Fortnite. Because what did you have to do? Everyone was inside. No one was doing anything because what were you supposed to do? It was a pandemic. So you just played Fortnite. And it just happens to be one of its best seasons where it's so much fun and so great. And also, the POIs went from Chapter 2's map being just pretty okay to a generally great map. It's such a great map. This season is one of the best. It's some people's favorite, not mine, but it's an amazing season nonetheless. Chapter 3, Season 1. Woo! I love this season. This is the funnest season of all time, or quite possibly the funnest. There's so many good changes, like Colombo, like the web shooters, like Storm. It was all just so cool. This is the best start to chapter ever. It's so sad that chapter 3 just fumbled afterwards. But what is a big problem that I have with this season? Nothing. I don't have a problem with this season. Well, sure, there are actual problems to pick, but it has such a great story. Just honestly, this is another quite biased one of it's just really, 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 really fun. So that's why I think it is one of the best ever. And here's my top 3, and I'll give you a hint. They're all number 1 because I can't decide. So chapter 1, season 5. This is my personal favorite season of Fortnite. So why isn't it number 1? Because objectively, it's not number 1. It's my personal favorite season of Fortnite, but it's not number 1. It's like how everyone's favorite season of Avatar: The Last Airbender is season 3 because it's an immaculate season of television. But like the objective best season, in my opinion, where it's like the best made, has the best episodes, uh has the best worst episodes, and is just more consistent throughout and just works better as a season, is season 2. Season 2 is a better made and just an objectively better season, but season 3 is everyone's favorite because people just like it more. This is not the best season in the game, but is my favorite. It's just so fun. I just keep on saying this. Also, one of the best top 3 maps ever. This, Season 8, Season 7 are all the 3 best maps in the game. Paradise Palms is one of the best POIs ever. And it had an amazing loot pool. And people really overhearing the spray and pray meta. A, everyone can do it. B, it is nowhere near as bad as so many other seasons of Fortnite with their OP weapons and loot pools, okay? So don't shut up about the spray and pray meta ruins the season. I'm sorry. I love this season. Anyways, next is the first Marvel season, Chapter 2, Season 4. I think this one is probably the objective best. But here's the thing. My number 1 is probably like the second best in the game, but it's also like my second favorite in the game. So it ends up winning. This is the I feel like objective best. But it's just so good. Oh my god, so good. I love Marvel. I adore Marvel. And I do think maybe they're going on a bit more into Marvel Universe, except that's more of a critique for Chapter 5, Season 4, because that one actually doesn't have an excuse for doing that. But still, oh my god, the mythics in this season were just perfect. They were absolutely perfect. And I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them so much. They were just so good. And Stark Industries is the best POI in the game. Fight me. I don't care. It's the best. You're not changing my opinion. And amazing loot pool. I just love it so much. And the game mode is one of the best ever. That Marvel Ultium was just so chef's kiss. It was perfect. And maybe the best Fortnite mirrors. I love the ghost. Honestly, they need to bring that back every Fortnite mirror. It was so insanely fun and ridiculous. I love it. Okay, I love it. I just love this season. Which is why it's my tied for number 1. Anyways, but my number 1 is Chapter 1, Season 8. It is probably like the second funnest season ever, and it's probably the second best made, and arguable first best made. It's just perfect. It is just perfect. Every new addition works. It has the best map in the game, a utterly perfect loot pool and gameplay. I have no problems to pick. The new items were so fun and they fit with it. And this is just the peak of Fortnite, and I don't think Fortnite will ever peak again like this. I don't think they're ever going beyond this. I don't think they're ever getting better than this. This is the perfect season of Fortnite, and I don't care. Yeah. Okay, also for the end, I forgot to mention something earlier. Boop. Let's just go back. I caught the mythic goldfish this season, so this is actually number 1 because I caught the mythic goldfish. But, yeah. Just kidding. But this is... Oh, wait, nope. This is the best season of Fortnite, in my opinion, is my personal favorite. And yeah, that's all.